Good evening, everybody. It's Steve Lookner with Right Side Broadcasting. I just mispronounced the word everybody. It's Steve Lookner with Right Side Broadcasting coming to you tonight with the announcement from President Trump of his fake news awards. Now, President Trump, within the last hour, did post a tweet on his Twitter page saying, and the fake news winners are, but if you clicked on the link, I don't know if too many people are clicking on the link, but the link that he tweeted out isn't working. However, there is an archived web page floating around that I believe is the actual fake news awards. I am not 100% sure, but I believe, folks, that this right here is actually the article. If it's not the article, someone went through a lot of work to create this, and somehow somebody knew that the fake news awards were going to be hosted on the GOP.com site. Because if you click on President Trump's actual, if you see President Trump's actual link is to the GOP, it's to a page on the GOP.com site. See, it says GOP.com, and if you click on it, it doesn't work, but it is a link on GOP.com. Watch, it won't work. So my point is that so that's not working. That's what, you get nothing, or you get a message that says it just doesn't work. So my point is, though, if this here, which I think is the real awards, is just like somebody got it, somebody was able to see it at least maybe early on and then archived it and sent it around. But if this isn't real, somebody would have had to have created this in advance and known that President Trump was going to post a link to GOP.com for the awards, which I can't imagine anyone would have thought. I would never have thought that these would have been hosted on GOP.com. So I'm going to assume for now that these are the actual awards. That's my best guess, that these are the actual awards, just because I can't fathom how somebody would have known to post it, to have a GOP.com parody site or something. So we're going to go through them now and see what they are. I just kind of skimmed through this, and then I was preparing to get on air, so I haven't even read the whole thing. So let's go through this. It seems to be that the actual site. If somebody finds out that the actual page is working, give me a shout. As far as I'm aware, I checked the link from President Trump's tweet at about 3 minutes after he tweeted it. It didn't work then, and it's still not working. But I do think this is the actual awards that you will see once the link is working, because this is an archive page, which I believe somebody got when they initially signed on and clicked on the link when it was still working. All right, so we're going to go through this. We're going to see what it says. We're going to assume it's accurate. And thank you. Thanks everybody in the chat room for joining us, and everybody on Facebook for joining us. And we seem to be for the moment missing a moderator. So behave yourselves in the chat room until the moderators show up. Okay, so let's look at this. This is supposedly the actual fake news awards. It says 2017 was a year of unrelenting bias, unfair news coverage, and even downright fake news. Studies have shown that over 90% of the media's coverage of President Trump is negative. Below are the winners of the 2017 fake news awards. So these are the winners, assuming as we are that this is an accurate document, that this is actually the link. Okay. Number one winner. I don't know if these are I don't think these are in like first place, second place, third place. I just think they're all of these are winners. Okay. Number one. A New York Times Paul Krugman claimed on the day of President Trump's historic landslide victory that the economy would never recover. It says Paul Krugman. Is there a link? There's no link. It just says, it's a headline that says, Paul Krugman says markets will never recover from Trump. Dow hits record high. So that's number one. Number two, fake news award winner. ABC News' Brian Ross chokes and sends markets in a downward spiral with false report. And there's a headline that says, ABC demotes Brian Ross after bungled report on Trump-Russia. Yeah, this was the day, wasn't this the day that General Flynn got indicted? And then I forget what the actual Brian Ross story was, but like he came out and he gave some story which turned out to be just not true. I think he had said, what was it? Hold on, I'm gonna Google it and just find it for you. Brian Ross incorrectly reported that during the 2016 presidential campaign, Trump had directed, hang on a second here. Trump had directed Michael Flynn to make contact with Russian officials before the election. So that was his report, that during the campaign, Trump had directed Michael Flynn to make contact with Russian officials before the election. I think the actual report that Brian Ross made was that General Flynn was going to testify that that was the case. But anyways, that's fake. That's fake award number 2, is when Brian Ross gave that false report, which he later retracted, and the stock market went down by a lot after that happened. Although was there a question as to whether that sent the stock market down or something else sent the stock market down? It's so long ago I can't remember. Anyways, so those are 2 of the fake awards. Let's see. So we are looking at the actual, we're looking at a supposedly cached version of the web page where the awards are on, because the actual link isn't working. So just to see, here, look, there's President Trump's actual post from 8 o'clock p.m., 52 minutes ago. But if you click on it, watch what happens. That link does not seem to be working. So we have found what appears to be a cached version of the link, which was working before. So we're going to keep going. All right. So by the way, if you like Right Side Broadcasting and you like our coverage and you like that we're doing live coverage of this, please consider making a donation, because your donations are what keeps us on the air. Your donations also allow us to go to all of President Trump's rallies. We cover the whole rally. We give you several hours of interviews before and after, where we talk to the people in the crowd and we hear why they came and we get their views on things, and we show you all the speakers at the rally uncut. We don't talk over them like a lot of the mainstream media does. So if you like our coverage, and not only President Trump events, of news coverage, if you like having an alternative to the mainstream media, please consider making a donation, because we cannot stay on the air without your donations. Your donations are what keeps us on the air. If you'd like to donate, you can go to the bottom of the YouTube chat, click on the little gray dollar sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat, or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. So let's get back to the awards. There are 2 fake news awards so far. First one went to Paul Krugman for saying that markets will never recover from Trump when Trump won the election. The second one went to Brian Ross when he gave a false story about Trump and Russia the day that General Flynn got arrested, and the stock market went down right after he gave that report. I have to look and see. Did Brian Ross? I have this vague memory that something else was going on that day. Did Brian Ross cause stock market to crash? I can't find anything here about it, to confirm that happened. Maybe it was what caused the stocks to crash. I can't remember. All right, let's keep going. Number 3 goes to CNN. The winner of the 3rd fake news award is CNN. Oh, and by the way, as we're going through these, you can write to me with your comments at Lookner on Twitter, at Lookner, at Lookner on Twitter. Let me know what you think about the fake news awards. Let me know if you agree with them, or if there are any that aren't in there that you think should be in there. So number 3 goes to CNN, and it says, CNN falsely reported that candidate Donald Trump and his son Donald J. Trump Jr. had access to hacked documents from WikiLeaks. That was pretty recent. That's from December 8th, 2017. CNN botches dates, inaccurately reports Trump campaign had WikiLeaks sneak peek. Now, I think the story here was that CNN said somehow that Don Jr. And President Trump had been given like special access to these WikiLeaks documents, even though they were already publicly released. But let me just get that actual story though. Don Jr. WikiLeaks CNN. Here it is. So look. CNN correct story on email to Trump's about WikiLeaks. So it says, CNN, it's a story by CNN. CNN on Friday afternoon, this was in December, corrected an exclusive report that said candidate Donald Trump and his son Don Jr. had received an email providing a web address and a decryption key, allowing them to access hacked documents from WikiLeaks before such documents were publicly available. It was corrected to say the email that was sent to the Trumps was sent on September 14th, one day after WikiLeaks made the documents public. So CNN had reported that President Trump and Don Jr. had gotten this email with providing them like special access to WikiLeaks hacked documents that no one else had. And but what ended up happening is that email to the Trumps was sent to them the day after WikiLeaks made the documents public. So that is. That's why CNN gets Fake News Award. Hold on. Fake News Award number 3 goes to CNN. Chris Douglas made a donation. Thank you, Chris. Chris says, this donation is my award to RSBN for being the most not fake news. Ha 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 ha. We're living inside a vortex, inside a cumulus cloud, inside a taco shell. Thank you, Chris, for your donation. Those keep us on the air. We appreciate it. And our moderators have joined us. Thank you, moderators, for moderating. We got JC, Guinevere, Barbara Braley, Lynn Jean. And thank you all for moderating, and Common Sense and Gleno on the website. See, now you have to behave because the moderators are there. All right, so we are going through President Trump's Fake News Awards. He posted a link to these awards at 8 o'clock Eastern Time an hour ago. I believe that link still doesn't work, but let's try it again. I'm clicking on the link. This is what you get right now when you click on the link. But luckily, we have come across what appears to be the actual Fake News Awards. So we are going through them one by one. So far, we've gone through 3 of them. There's the one for Paul Krugman, saying the markets will never recover from Trump after the election. On the day of President Trump's victory, Paul Krugman said that. Number 2 was Brian Ross's fake news report claiming that President Trump had told General Flynn to go talk to the Russians before the election, which turned out to be wrong, and the stock market crashed right after. It lost a lot of points right after Brian Ross made that report, and then ABC and Brian Ross corrected it later. But then they didn't even call it a correction. Didn't they call it like a clarification for a long time? They made several posts saying this is a clarification when it really, and they wouldn't admit that they actually did something wrong. They could have won a second award for that. And then the next award we just saw was CNN falsely claiming in December that Don Jr. and Donald Trump were sent an email allowing them to get access to secret WikiLeaks hacked documents when in fact those documents had already been made public a day before the email was sent to the Trumps. All right, so we're going to move now to who's going to win. Who is the winner? Oh, I already showed you. Oh, maybe you didn't see it. Who do you think, if you didn't see it, will win Fake News Award number 4? Let's see. Hey, Stop the Hammering made a donation and said, this is my reward for RSBN for not reporting fake news. Thank you, Stop the Hammering. We appreciate that. If you want to help us stay on the air, we rely on your donations to stay on the air. Go to the bottom of the YouTube chat. Click on the $sign there. Okay, here it is. We're up to number 4. The winner of Fake News Award number 4 is Time Magazine. This Fake News Award is presented to Time Magazine. Why? Time falsely, says this document, Time falsely reported that President Trump removed a bust of Martin Luther King Jr. from the Oval Office. Let's look up this story, shall we? Let's do a little research here. Time Martin Luther King bust. So here's the Hill story. This is to give you a little backstory about this Fake News Award. This is an article from the Hill that says, Trump attacks Time reporter for mistake about Martin Luther King bust. And this is from January 2017. So this is early 2017, about a year ago. President Trump on Saturday, this is last year, attacked a Time magazine journalist for mistakenly reporting that a bust of Martin Luther King Jr. had been removed from the Oval Office. Trump called out the reporter Zeke Miller while speaking to staff at the CIA, even though Miller quickly acknowledged and corrected the mistake the previous day. So Zeke Miller from Time did acknowledge he had made this mistake. They said that Donald Trump took down the bust, the statue of Dr. Martin Luther King. But it was right there. There was a cameraman that was in front of it, Trump said, standing in front of the CIA's memorial wall. So Zeke from Time magazine writes a story about, I took down, I would never do that because I have great respect for Dr. Martin Luther King. But this is how dishonest the media is, Trump continued. Now big story. Now big story, the retraction was like where? Was it a line or did they even bother putting it in? In fact, the detail was included in a White House pool report about Trump's first actions in the Oval Office as president. So that is the background about the false news that made President Trump award Time magazine the 4th fake news award for falsely reporting that President Trump removed a bust of Martin Luther King Jr. from the Oval Office. That's number 4. Hey, I think we got another donation. Stunt Hanger made a donation and said, how to fit... Oh, Stunt Hanger, I see your message about how to fix that issue. That doesn't fix the issue. The issue, if you want to, you can. I won't bore everyone talking about it on the air, but that issue will not be fixed by that fix, and I can explain. If you want to direct message me on Twitter, I'll explain why. I'm at @Lookner on Twitter. Hey, let me see. Speaking of my Twitter, I want to see if we have any comments on this. So we've gone through 4 fake news awards. We are going through the fake news awards here. If you click on President Trump's link, it's not working right now, but we have what we believe is a cached version of the actual awards, which you'll be able to eventually see on President Trump's link. But we're going through it right now. But I want to hear your comments on these awards. Do you agree with them so far? We've only seen 4. There are more. Who else do you think should get fake news awards? Write to me on Twitter. JC says, Steve, the link from President Trump's Twitter did work for him, but it takes a while for it to load. So JC is saying that the link on President Trump's Twitter did work for him, but it took a while for it to load. Okay, thank you, JC, one of our moderators. And let's see here. Okay, I think I'm caught up there. By the way, if you want to know when we're coming on the air with future live broadcasts like this, we do these live broadcasts all the time. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Click the notifications bell so you get notified when we're coming on the air. We cover all kinds of news. Okay, here we go. Who do you think? So far, Paul Krugman's won 1. Brian Ross has won 1. CNN has won 1. Time has won 1. Okay, off the top of my head, I'll say, and I haven't read this. I haven't read the rest of this document yet. I would be shocked if the New York Times didn't win 1. I would be shocked if the Washington Post didn't win 1. So I think there's going to be 1 from the New York Times. I think there's going to be 1 from the Washington Post. Maybe, NBC or MSNBC or both. 1 from them. That's 3. So I would be pretty surprised if those 3 weren't on the list. But we'll see what else. All right, without further ado, let's go to the next one. The winner of Fake News Award number 5 is, slow reveal, it is the Washington Post. Woo! Hey, everybody clap for the Washington Post. They win, number 5. Hey, I was pretty, well, it wasn't like it was a bold prediction of me to say the Washington Post will win one, but it's the Washington Post has indeed won a Fake News Award. Why? Let's read it. Washington Post falsely reported the president's massive sold-out rally in Pensacola, Florida, was empty. Dishonest reporter showed picture of empty arena hours before a crowd started pouring in. Now, I believe I was at this rally. I remember this. I remember this whole controversy. And I'm going to show you some. These pictures aren't working in this document, but I'll show you some in a second. But first, Newsweek, thank you for donating. And Newsweek says, WT, what is WT? Is reporting fake news awards as a flop because site is broken. LOL. Well, the site eventually will be working. Somebody asked me where my tux was. I thought about that right when we started the broadcast. I was like, oh, I could have worn my tux. Well, whatever. It's a more casual award show. Oh, and thank you, Gilbert Serrano, for the donation as well. Thank you, Gilbert. All right, so let's read a little more about this. The Washington Post has won a fake news award. Let's read about it. The Pensacola rally. Washington Post, Pensacola. I think it might have been a particular Washington Post reporter. Here we go. Remember this from last December? Hang on. I got to pause. I got to stop the autoplay video. Washington Post reporter apologizes for bad tweet after Trump calls him out. Dave Weigel, a Washington Post reporter on Saturday, that's last December, apologized for his bad tweet after President Trump called him out by name for posting a misleading photo about the crowd size during Friday's rally. It was a bad tweet. Look what he said, Dave Weigel. It was a bad tweet on my personal account, not a story for the Washington Post. I deleted it after like 20 minutes. Very fair to call me out. There's Dave Weigel. In a now deleted tweet, Weigel, known for his humorous take on the news on Twitter, posted a photo of a half-empty arena to mock Trump for saying Friday's rally in Pensacola was packed to the rafters. But that photo was not taken while Trump was speaking. Trump tweeted photos showing the arena full, and I can confirm it was full because I was there. I remember that rally. It was really full. I remember talking to my fellow correspondents about it and be like, wow, a lot of people showed up to this thing, and we looked around, there were no empty seats. Said Trump, Dave Weigel, here's President Trump's tweet from last December. Here it is. Dave Weigel at Washington Post put out a phony photo of an empty arena hours before I arrived at the venue, with thousands of people outside on their way in. Real photos now shown as I spoke. Packed house, many people unable to get in, demand apology and retraction from fake news Washington Post. I'll make the pictures a little bigger here. So here's the picture that Dave Weigel posted. Dave Weigel posted this picture. Packed to the rafters, which was way before the rally started. And then the actual crowd, you can see in the picture that President Trump posted, was like this. It was packed to the rafters. I saw it with my own eyes. Okay, let's see if there's anything else here. And President Trump also said, and so after President Trump posted that, Dave Weigel replied, sure thing, I apologize. I deleted the photo after somebody else, is it David Mark Tosco, told me I'd gotten it wrong, was confused by the image of you walking in the bottom right corner. What image was he confused by the way? Huh? I'm confused. Oh, you can't really see it here. I guess there's somebody who could be President Trump at the bottom of the photo. Anyways, he's not on stage or anything. To continue the story, though, Dave Weigel said, sure thing, I apologize. I deleted the photo, was confused by the image of you walking in the bottom right corner. The president, though, was not satisfied with Weigel's apology. Fake news. He should be fired, Trump tweeted. President Trump tweeted, Dave Weigel of the Washington Post just admitted that his picture was a fake. Fraud, showing an almost empty arena last night for my speech in Pensacola, when in fact he knew the arena was packed, as shown also on TV. Fake news, he should be fired. Okay, anyways, so that is the background behind this fake news award number 5 that was just given out by President Trump. He gave this out to the Washington Post. They get fake news award number 5 for falsely reporting the president's massive sold-out rally in Pensacola was empty. Dave Weigel from the Washington Post said it was empty, but that was a picture taken before the rally. It was actually packed, as we just saw. Okay, we have gone through 5 of the fake news awards. These were posted by President Trump tonight on his Twitter. See? And the fake news winners are, unfortunately, this link isn't working too well that he posted. If you click on it, you get a white screen. Maybe if I left this up here for 5 minutes would actually fill in. But we have obtained what we believe is the actual document, a cached version of the web page that somebody posted earlier, and that's what we're looking at right now. It starts like this, and we've gone through New York Times 1-1, Paul Krugman 1-1 from the New York Times, Brian Ross from ABC, CNN 1-1, Time Magazine 1-1, Washington Post 1-1. Now, who else? I still think that MSNBC and NBC are going to win one. I still think, well, since the New York Times one went to Paul Krugman and not the New York Times, I think the New York Times might still win one. Who do you think might win one besides? Give me a shout on Twitter if you have comments. Let me know what you think. I'm at Lookner. Who else do you think will win the Fake News Awards? And we got a donation. Thank you from Dickie RT4. Thank you for that donation. Those donations are what keeps us on the air, so thank you. If you do want to donate, you can just go to the bottom of the YouTube chat and click on the $sign. Or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. Build the Wall Now writes in, I think that he should have made a bigger deal about being nominated for a fakie. Next year, he should tweet out nominations for each category and then produce a video of each one. Have it all on live video and make a huge deal about it, equivalent to the Oscars. That's from our viewer, Grant Patillo. Jeremy Miller writes in, our viewer says, I nominated NBC. Not only is their reporting fake on President Trump, they hyper-edited the Las Vegas shooting cabbie video, changing her narrative. Oh, Joey Diaz says the viewer who wrote in that WT is reporting that the Fake News Awards are a flop because the link isn't working. He thinks the person meant the Washington Post because he says the Washington Post is reporting that the Fake News Awards are a flop. Are they literally having that on their website right now? Let's see. I'm going to go to their webpage. Well, it's not on their front page. Maybe they tweeted out about it or something. All right, we covered that. We covered that award. We're still on number 5. We're about to do number 6. And other people are sending me, they're saying like, hey, I found this copy of the Fake News Awards. And oops, not this one. Sorry. It's this page right here. And the ones people are sending me saying, hey, look, this is the page. It's the same as this page. So it looks like we're on the right page. By the way, we got a donation from Tim Clark. Thank you, Tim. And Tim says, hey, Steve, just too much of a coincidence that Jeff Flake bashes the president for press coverage same day as the awards. Love it in RSBN. Thank you, Tim. And thanks for supporting Right Side with your donation. Thanks again to our moderators as well for moderating tonight. Isaac Barry, our viewer, writes in and says, the only thing that would have made this better would have been as if the president had televised it. Lynn Phillips says, Steve, I got the president's link to work for me. So some of you have gotten the president's link to work on his Twitter page. Maybe it's taken a long time because whenever I try it here, I just get a white screen. But it doesn't matter because we have this up anyway. Now let me try it one more time. I'll leave it up here trying. Maybe that's what I'll do. So that's what I get when I try. But I'm gonna let this in another window, let this stay open, and maybe the actual page will download. But for now, we'll look at the archive page. DM made a donation and said, thank you, Steve, RSBN, and all the moderators and my chatter friends. Love you all. Best place to be. Thank you, DM. Okay, so we're getting ready right now to announce Fake News Award number 6. Who will it be? Who will the next Fake News Award be? Can you feel the excitement? If I had more time, I would have printed out this, and then I would have had somebody else print it out so I didn't know who won, and cut up each of the awards and put them in envelopes, and the person could have handed me envelopes and I could have opened them on the air. Well, maybe if President Trump does this next year, we'll do it that way. But for now, we are just going to scroll up and see who the next winner is. Are you ready, folks? Are you ready for Fake News Award winner number 6? And the winner of Fake News Award number 6 is CNN. CNN is the first repeat winner. CNN wins Fake News Award number 6. CNN is the first ever two-time winner of a fake news award. CNN already won a fake news award early in the evening for when they... Here, they already won the third fake news award when they falsely reported that candidate Donald Trump and his son Don Jr. had access to hacked documents from WikiLeaks. That was their first one, but they have just won again. Oh, this is one of my favorite fake news awards. This is when CNN falsely edited a video to make it appear that President Trump defiantly overfed fish during the visit with the Japanese Prime Minister, and the Japanese Prime Minister actually was the first one to do it. So look. You see, the Japanese Prime Minister does it, and then President Trump does it. But CNN, I'm going to show you that if you haven't seen it, because it's an incredible video. But before I do, I want to say a quick thank you. Joanne Goldsnyder made a donation of $50. Thank you, Joanne. And she said, RSBN rocks. Thank you so much, Joanne. Very nice of you. And Terry Robinson also made a donation and said, fake news is for the dead fish. Thank you, Terry. Okay, I'm going to find you, because I remember I tweeted about this. I couldn't believe that CNN had posted this doctored video. That you're seeing the full video here. That's the video that you're seeing on your screen is when you see the Japanese Prime Minister. The Japanese Prime Minister, he dumps his food, and then President Trump dumps his food after the Japanese Prime Minister. So the president is just doing what the Japanese Prime Minister did. But CNN showed an edited video of this and tried to claim that President Trump was an idiot because he was dumping all his food in the pond because he's dumb. So let me find that for you. Hold on a second. CNN, Japan, Trump, fish food. Oh, is this the? Oh, look, this is the article. Trump feeds fish. Winds up pouring entire box of food into koi pond. Oh, what an idiot, President Trump! Unfortunately, oops. Oh, sorry. We gotta turn off the music here. Oh, music. Jeez, no copyrighted music. They get all mad. So CNN, this is a CNN video. Okay, they were escorted to a dining room that overlooks its famous koi pond. The two leaders were handed small wooden boxes filled with fish food. After tossing the fish a few spoonfuls, what happened? Okay, they're tossing spoonfuls, then what happened after? Trump, oh no, this is the corrected one. That's not the initial one they posted. That's not the initial one. Let's find the initial one. This is the corrected story. This is it. This is perfect. This is great. So that story I just showed you was after they corrected it. This was the original CNN video that they were posting and talking about. So this is on their site, and I know CNN posted this. So look at the video. Oh, I want to post this again. I want to rewind this and do it again. She covers. This woman works for CNN, by the way. So look. They're not. That's not the right one. That's too cropped. That doesn't show it either. All right, hold on a second. I'm going to get this right, because I want to show you the right video that CNN was showing everybody. And I got to show you why they got this fake news award. CNN, Trump, fake, fish, Japan, tweet, video. I'm going to get this for you. Is this it? I got it, guys. I got it. You ready? This is it. This is the CNN tweet this is why they won the fake news award tonight. The second fake news award. So you can see their tweet says, Trump joined his Japanese counterpart Shinzo Abe in feeding fish, emptying the whole box of food into the koi pond. Now it only says Trump did it. It doesn't say Shinzo Abe did it. Now watch what happens in the video. Ready? So they're feeding the fish. They're feeding the fish. Okay? They're feeding the fish. Yeah, feeding. They're just spooning fish. Fine. Feeding the fish. Okay, good, great. Just feeding some fish. Now we show President Trump. And now we're seeing both of them. Wait. So then it zooms in on President Trump. Look. It zooms in on President Trump. We don't even see what Abe is doing. Oh, and then we see Trump dump the whole box. See what happened? See what CNN did? At the point where Abiy was dumping his box, they zoom in on President Trump so you can't see what Abiy is doing. See, that's right here. That's when Abiy's dumping his box. Abiy just dumped his box. And then they widen out, and you see Trump dump his box. So then CNN says, Trump emptied the whole box of food into a koi pond. But actually, that's not what happened. What happened is, as I just showed you, where is it? Look, hold on, wait, you'll see. Abiy takes his whole box and puts it into the pond, and then President Trump dumps his. But the CNN video zoomed in on President Trump so you couldn't see what Abiy was doing. See how that works? That is why CNN won Fake News Award number 6. I remember that very well. Shame on you, CNN. Let's watch that one more time. So you see what's happening in the video. I just got to show you one more time. Abiy dumps his, and then President Trump dumps his. So President Trump is just copying what Abiy does. But look at what CNN does on their Twitter. Oh, it's so dumb. Facts first. Here, I'll move to it when they zoom in. Here's what CNN does. Watch. I got to show it to you again. Sorry, I know we just saw it. They zoom in on President Trump. Keep going. They're going to zoom in even more. They're both standing there. Now, what? Here, they zoom in here, and that's when Abiy dumps his. And they don't show you that, CNN. They don't show you Abiy dumping his. And then they zoom out again to see President Trump dumping his. That's what they do. I missed the zoom out there. I'll show you the whole thing again. See? Zoom in on President Trump. Don't see Abiy do it. And then zoom out so you see President Trump do it. And that, my friends, is why CNN has won Fake News Award number 6. Hooray for CNN! Woo! Congratulations, CNN. You are the first 2-time winner of a Fake News Award. Well, we do have some more Fake News Awards coming up. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Okay, I haven't revealed them yet. All right. So, I already showed, guys, for those of you who have because I took the graphics off, those of you who are paying attention know who wins award number 7. So not a lot of suspense unless you didn't see it. So I'm not going to tell you yet. But first, I want to say a quick thank you to some people who donated. We got a donation from Chris Douglas. And Chris Douglas says, Fake News Awards are a hit. Let's grow this. Thank you, Chris. And we got a donation from Ironclad292. It says, YouTube keeps making me sign in to comment. This is BS. Maybe they're trying to sabotage this broadcast of the Fake News Awards. But we will not let them do it. Okay, just so you know, this is the link. This is what you see when you click on President Trump's link. President Trump posted about this on his Twitter. He said, look, and the Fake News Award winners are. But when you click on that link, this is what I get. The site is temporarily offline. Maybe too many people are trying to watch it. But fortunately, someone out there got to this site early and put a cached version of it up on the web. And this cached version is what we're looking at right now. We've been going through the Fake News Awards. To recap, who's won them so far? Paul Krugman of the New York Times won one. ABC News' Brian Ross won one. CNN has won 2 of them so far. CNN is the leader so far tonight. They're the big winner so far. Time Magazine has won one. The Washington Post has won one. And this is where CNN, we just saw, won their second one. Who will win the next one? Who will win the next one? That's the big question. So we're going to tell you in a second. But for the moment, I want to say, if you have any comments on the Fake News Awards, if you have any suggestions for who should win, any thoughts on the winners so far, give me a shout on Twitter, @Lookner, @LOOKNER. And don't forget, subscribe to us at Right Side Broadcasting and click the notifications bell. Subscribe on YouTube, click the notifications bell so you get notified about all of our videos. Let me check my messages real quick. JC says, Steve, is the list from worst to not worst or not worst to worst? P.S. They all suck. I don't believe these are in any order. I believe everybody on this list, every award is an equal winner. So I don't believe they're in order of, least to most important or vice versa. That's my best take on the situation. Chris Douglas, interesting suggestion. Chris Douglas, our viewer, thinks Jim Acosta might get a fake news award. This is an excellent suggestion. Chris, I would have suggested that if I thought of it myself. I'll be kind of... Now, I will say CNN already has 2. We've been reading through. CNN already has 2. So will Jim Acosta get one? That's a great question. I still think the New York Times might get one. Will Maggie Haberman get one? Don't know. MSNBC and NBC are shut out so far. Will they get one? A lot of suspense here. We're going to keep going and see. Let me just get to some more of your comments, though. Berserker 23 writes in, Trump should actually send everybody a gold turd trophy that won a fake news award tonight. So this is from our viewer, Berserker 23. I'll just show you real quick. This is what Berserker 23, our viewer, thinks President Trump should send all the winners. This right here. Thank you for your suggestion, Berserker 23. Okay, hang on. So as we are on award number 6, we're about to get to number 7. Zachary Macaninch writes in, was watching Fox News and they had the fake news awards on air, and then Hannity on air live deemed SNN the S-hole network. Wow. Did he actually say the word, Zachary? Linda Belk says she shared the broadcast and thanks for having the live show. You're welcome. Scott Thorson says fake news awards. It makes sense why Jeff Flake was praising the media so much today. American Girl, I don't want to show your meme because I don't know if that reveals all the winners. We haven't seen all the winners yet, so I don't want to have any spoilers on this broadcast. SH75401 says in the fish video you can see President Trump making a sound effect as he pours out his food and Abi laughs. Scott Thorson says fake news awards would be a good replacement for the Washington Press Corps annual party. Lynn Phillips also thinks that Jim Acosta might get one. All right, we got to get to the next one and see who's going to win. Oh, and we have one more suggestion on who might win from Hank Hill. Hank Hill says, the fake news that made me the angriest was the one with Frederica Wilson and the mom of the soldier who was killed while serving in Africa. They said he was heartless. I don't believe it. All right, well, it's about time, guys, to get to another fake news award. Who will win the next one? First of all, Joey Fountain made a donation. Joey Fountain says, I love RSBN. You're who I watch for real news. Thank you, Joey. That's very kind of you. All right, are you ready, folks? We are right now going to go and reveal fake news award winner number 7. Who's it going to be? Some of you might have seen it a little earlier because I made a mistake and didn't have the graphics on the screen. But for those of you who don't know, are you ready? The winner of fake news award number 7 is CNN. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. CNN has won an incredible 3rd fake news award. There have been 7 given out. CNN is doing amazingly well tonight. Wow, this is a breakthrough evening for CNN. This is their 3rd fake news award. Now, this was given to CNN. It says, because CNN falsely reported about Anthony Scaramucci's meeting with a Russian, but retracted it due to a significant breakdown in process. 3 CNN employees resign over retracted story on Russia ties. Hey, let's look this up. Let's get some more background here. CNN Scaramucci. Fake news. This is a story from the New York Times where they say, at CNN, a retracted story leaves an elite reporting team bruised. Will this give a brief summary, though, of it? Oh, this is so. I wanted just a quick summary of it. Let's see. Here it is. This is it. Three journalists leaving CNN after retracted article. Three CNN journalists, including the executive editor in charge of a new investigative unit, have resigned after the publication of a Russia-related article that was retracted. Let's see if it mentions the Scaramucci thing in here. Does it say Scaramucci in here? No. So I have to find a different source because this isn't mentioning it in here. I want to explain the award to you. Here it is. This is it. From The Guardian, fake news, Trump tweets glee as three CNN journalists resign over Russia story. CNN on Monday accepted the resignations of three journalists. Let's get to the story. The CNN story in question was posted. CNN apologized to Anthony Scaramucci, the Trump transition team member who was reported to be involved in the meeting. Oh, so the story said the story was about a supposed investigation into a pre-inaugural meeting between an associate of Donald Trump, Anthony Scaramucci, and the head of a Russian investment fund. And then the president, it turned out that the story was false, and the president tweeted this out. Wow, CNN had to retract big story on Russia with 3 employees forced to resign. What about all the other phony stories they do? Fake news. So the president said that. And CNN apologized to Anthony Scaramucci. Okay, so that is why. Oh, and see after CNN apologized, Scaramucci said, "Look, Scaramucci said CNN did the right thing, classy move, apology accepted. Everyone makes mistakes. Moving on." So that false report from CNN was the reason that Scaramucci. Not Scaramucci, was the reason that CNN won its third. This is not a misprint. CNN has taken 3 of the first 7 fake news awards. 3 of the first 7 fake news awards go to CNN. Wow, CNN really coming on strong. Who will win the next fake news award? Jim Acosta has not won one yet. MSNBC and NBC have not won one yet. Will MSNBC and NBC really get shut out? Might Joe Scarborough win one? Joe and Mika? We'll see. Do you have any suggestions on who might win? Who do you think might win? Give me a shout on Twitter, at Lookner, at Lookner. I want to say thank you to Chris Douglas, made a donation and said, can't wait for the next press briefing. So you think they'll maybe talk about this in the press briefing, Chris? You're watching Right Side Broadcasting's live coverage of the Fake News Awards. We are showing them one by one, revealing them on the air. We just got a donation, by the way, from T. Ryan, who says, been watching for a while, love the channel. It's so much fun watching Trump MAGA. Amazing how little power the media has over a president who won on his own merit and with almost no media support. Thank you, T. Ryan, for the donation. Those donations keep us on the air, so thank you. Okay. I want to get to your messages for a second. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win the next one? You guys have been writing me your suggestions as to who hasn't won yet, who you think might win. Give me a shout on Twitter. I am at Lookner on Twitter, at Lookner. Give me a shout there. Quick thank you again to all of our moderators who've been moderating the chat tonight during the awards ceremony, that were our impromptu award ceremony here. Guinevere, Barbara Braley, JC, Common Sense and Gleno on the website, Real Frank. Thank you all. Let's see here. American Girl says there are no spoilers in her meme. You can show it at the end. Okay, thank you, American Girl. Italiano for Trump says, Trump should have another category, Hypocrite Award. CNN will say the president has heart disease, but never looked into Hillary hacking during her speeches and collapsing. And Trump's not fit? So you think there should be a different kind of award besides fake news awards, Italiano for Trump? Zach Giannino writes, if we're going to glamorize slandering of the press, how are we going to hold our government accountable? Are we supposed to trust propaganda wings of the White House to inform us? Now, I will say this, Zach Giannino, if you're talking about the fake news awards, these fake news awards, at least so far, have all been claims that were shown to be wrong. So, for example, there was a Time magazine about the Martin Luther King bust that they ended up saying that was wrong. There was the video, which turned out to be an incorrect, which was a doctored video. There's the story here that CNN retracted. So when you say slander, do you mean like, I mean, this is pointing out stories that the media has gotten wrong. Now, maybe you think, Zach, that it's inappropriate for the president to be even doing this, pointing out stories that the media has gotten wrong. But you might be making a different point besides that. I'm not sure. But I just to clarify, in this case, of the ones we've gone through so far, of the awards been given out so far, Paul Krugman did get this wrong about the markets never recovering. Brian Ross did correct that story. It was wrong. CNN did have to correct that story. Time did have to correct that story. The Washington Post did correct that story. So in CNN, this was shown to be wrong, the CNN video. And then the last one, number 7, CNN corrected that. So in none of the cases here has the president given an award for fake news to something that wasn't a false story. So he's certainly not accusing them of doing stuff they didn't do. But maybe you still think it's inappropriate anyway. Stephanie Hamilton writes in, we need an award for the time that Trump was at the meeting in Europe with world leaders and he jumped into the front row in a friendly way, but a TV camera made it seem that Trump barged into the group. That was a long time ago. I barely remember that. Thanks for writing in with the suggestion, Stephanie. David, I can't even remember. I remember seeing it. I have to look at that video again, and I don't even remember there being like controversy. Like, was there another angle to the video or something? So I would have to refresh my memory on all that. David Opp says, I wonder if Jeff Flake is watching this. I'm guessing he's not. I wonder what Stalin would have done with these journalists. So it sounds like you're saying, David Ops, that you think Jeff Flake's comparison of President Trump to Stalin was inapt because Joseph Stalin did a lot worse things to journalists than President Trump does. Apache Will says, if anyone called RSBN Network, Right Side Broadcasting, fake news, they deserve a fake news award. Thank you, Apache Will. Okay. I stand with Trump writes, and hey, Steve, love the fake news awards tonight. I think Crap News Network will be top loser. They're on their way. Would be really cool if RSBN did a news blooper video for the last year in News 2017 MAGA. Thank you, I stand with Trump. All right, let me get to the next award. What do you think? I think it's time. Oh, we have one more message here. Scott Polier says the GOP site is working now. All right, let's see. Hang on. It's working! Yes! All right, we can get the actual page. All right, so thank you, Scott. So if you go to President Trump's Twitter page, he posts this link, and this link is now working. I just opened it. So we were looking at the right site. We actually had it right. So we were on the right page. But this is a little cleaner, and there's no missing graphics or anything. All right, so we've gone through. We are on the actual site President Trump links to. We've gone through awards 1 through 7. We're about to get to number 8. Who will it be? Hang on. We just saw that number 7 was CNN. I just revealed it. Don't look. Are you ready? The winner of number 8. Fake News Award number 8 is Newsweek. Woo! Congratulations to Newsweek. You have just won a Fake News Award number 8 given out. And it says, Newsweek falsely reported that the Polish First Lady, Agata Kornhauser-Duda, did not shake the president's hand. So Newsweek won a fake news award. Hey, let's read it. Let's get a little more about this one. Newsweek, Polish, Trump, shake hand. Oh, see, they still have their original. They still have the. They still have their original site up. This is the original Newsweek story. It says, "Watch Donald Trump handshake rejected by Polish First Lady in hilariously awkward exchange." Now they have that up, but look at here. Look at this update. So they originally posted update 2:25 EDT, an extended video of the encounter during which President Trump reaches his arm out to the First Lady of Poland, shows her eventually shaking the president's hand after initially passing him by in favor of First Lady Melania Trump. The mildly awkward and humorously relatable exchange was just that, and no apparent swipe at the U.S. president. No apparent swipe. But they still have, but look, they still have the headline up. They still have the headline up that President Trump handshake rejected by Polish First Lady. But then down here they say, well, she did shake his hand, and they say it was no apparent swipe at the U.S. president. Look, that's what they say. And I want to see if I can find a video of this on Twitter. Give me 1 second. Hang on. Trump, shake, hand, Polish, fake news. Will that turn it up on Twitter? I think I found one. Let's see. Let's see. I'm finding the video of her shaking Melania's hand. Where is it? This is the video that people were showing and that Newsweek was talking about. I'll show you that one. Here we go. So there's where she doesn't shake his hand, but she did actually shake his hand. Oh, there it is. Okay. Watch. So here's the actual video. She shakes Melania's hand, but watch. Then she shakes his hand right after Melania, right afterwards. But people weren't reporting that. People like Newsweek, when they were saying, watch Donald Trump handshake rejected by Polish First Lady in hilariously awkward exchange. Is this the video down here that they posted? Oh, I can't show this one. Hold on. The exchange immediately went viral as viewers wrote that Trump was owned by the Polish First Lady. Watch. See? This is on the Newsweek article. They don't show her right after shaking President Trump's hand. They cut it right after she shakes Melania's hand. Newsweek still has this posted. This is posted on Newsweek. But I just showed you in the whole video, look what happens. Look what happens. Oh, then she shakes his hand. Let's watch again. Let's watch one more time. Huh, interesting. So that is why Newsweek. Oops. That's why Newsweek has won Fake News Award number 8. They won that award because they falsely reported that the Polish First Lady did not shake President Trump's hand when actually, as we just saw, she did. How about that? Hey, Madeline Shockley made a donation, and she said, you will need to do a whole other show for fake news in the last 20 years, not just 1 year. Good job, as always. Thank you, Madeline. We appreciate it. Your donations are what keeps us on the air, so we really do appreciate your donations. We are a very small company, and we are viewer-supported. Mona Montgomery made a donation, too. Thank you so much, Mona. So if you appreciate our coverage and you'd like to want to see us keep covering news events and President Trump events, and we go to the rallies and give you full coverage of President Trump's rallies, we show you his whole speech, all the speakers at the rallies. We show you several hours of interviews before and after. Nobody else does that. The news networks, a lot of them don't even show President Trump's whole speech anymore. And we cover all kinds of breaking news, and we don't tell you what to think about it. We just present the news to you and let you decide. If you like that coverage, if you like having an alternative to mainstream media, please consider donating, because that's the only way we can stay on the air is with your donations. If you want to donate, go to the bottom of the YouTube chat, click on the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat. It's a little gray $, or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. So we have seen there have been 8 awards given out so far tonight, the fake news awards. CNN is the leader so far with 3. Will anyone top CNN? Jim Acosta has not gotten one yet. MSNBC and NBC have not gotten one yet. What will happen? I think there are at least a few more in this document that we will see. I don't know who they are. I haven't looked. So what do you think will happen? Give me a shout on Twitter, @Lookner. We're reading your comments on the air, @Lookner, @LOOKNER. Let me know what you think. David Raygor writes in, Dickie Durbin also needs a long nose award. Dick Durbin before Durbin Dick Shoe. I think you mean a long nose award for lying, David Raygor, to be clear. Let's see here. Zenith writes in, it is custom for the First Lady to shake the hand of the other First Lady while the power seat greets first. His confusion was caused by an early first shake. He was too quick. You're trying to explain what happened there, Zenith, but I'm not entirely following, which maybe is my fault, but I think I need a little more detail there. Feel free to message me again if you have more detail there. Deplorable Sorrel says, ladies first, the Polish gal has class. See, I think, Zenith, you're saying that President Trump maybe didn't realize that the custom was that Poland's leader would shake Melania's hand first. I think that's what you're saying. Yeah, so Lynn Phillips also says the correction on handshake, Newsweek's correction neglected to state that it is customary in that country to shake or greet the woman first. So it was not a snub of President Trump, but you're saying the Newsweek article didn't even say that. Cindy Jones says, watching your coverage of the fake news awards, awesome and definitely my preferred medium. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. 99 Wolves says, and has a thought on who's going to win number 9, but I'm not going to say it because I don't know if you looked, 99 Wolves. Cutter Wayne Leaf says, I have mixed feelings about the way the fake news awards was presented. The president himself talked up the awards, but then again, I think if it was more elaborate, it would only encourage the mainstream media to continue the way they report on him as they do now. So it sounds, Cutter Wayne Leaf, like you're saying, given that the president built up awards, you wanted like more than just an article with the awards in them. You wanted some sort of like program from the White House or something. But you're also saying if they did that, that might get the press angry and prompt worse coverage. Nana writes in that she thinks Joy Behar should win a fake news award and a bad acting award when she, after that Brian Ross story came out about General Flynn, and there's that well-known clip of Joy Behar celebrating when she heard what thought was bad news about Trump, and then it turned out that bad news wasn't true. But you're saying she should win a fake news award and bad acting award. Now, I'm not sure about a fake news award because she was just clapping for fake news. She wasn't producing the fake news. But hey, why don't we look at that one more time? the famous Joy Behar celebration. This is when she found out that Brian Ross story that supposedly General Flynn was going to say President Trump told General Flynn before the election to talk to the Russians, which turned out to not be true. And ABC retracted that report. All right, Joy Behar celebration. This should come up somewhere, right? Hang on, let me find it rather than... Is this... I'm not seeing any... Did they take it off of Twitter? Because I'm not seeing this posted anywhere on Twitter, strangely enough. Let's see this again. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, I have a very short clip of it. I have a GIF of it. But it was a much longer celebration than this. And this doesn't have sound on it. This didn't win an award, by the way. I was just showing you the clip. Anyway, let's move on to the awards. Let's get back to the awards. Joey Fountain writes, in so many fake stories, so few awards, like the one about the president ignoring the disabled child. Ooh, that's a good one. That video where people were claiming the president was ignoring the disabled child. Did the media report that one? The MLK bust removed from the Oval Office. An award was already given out for that to Time Magazine. I doubt Acosta was worth a mention. He's just pathetic. All right, time to get back to the next award. Oh, but I forgot to thank a couple people for donations. Hold on. Juniper Lee made a donation. Juniper Lee, 2004, and said, "Hi, Steve. Glad you're live with this." Thank you, Juniper Lee. Mona Montgomery made another donation and said, "A lady acknowledges the wife before the husband to show she is not on the make for the handsome husband." Interesting. Thank you, Mona Montgomery. A non-person made a donation and said, "I am retired on a fixed income, but I try to donate often because I love RSB and they are real news, Richard P." Thank you, Richard P. That's very nice of you. It means a lot to us. Now, of course, we don't want anybody to spend money they don't have or that they really need to live, but we really appreciate your donation. That's very nice of you. Okay, so they've given out, President Trump has given out eight awards. We just saw that Newsweek won number 8. Who will win number 9? Are we ready for award number 9? I think there's only a few awards left, so only a few left. Who will get number 9? Are you ready, folks? Are you ready to see it with me? The winner of Fake News Award number 9 is... Oh my gosh, it's CNN! CNN has won a 4th Fake News Award. This is truly incredible. They're doing better than anyone could have anticipated. CNN has just won its 4th Fake News Award. Just amazing. This one is for CNN falsely reporting that former FBI Director James Comey would dispute President Trump's claim. Hold on. CNN falsely reported that former FBI Director James Comey would dispute President Trump's claim that he was told he is not under investigation. So, CNN, President Trump had claimed that James Comey told him that he personally, President Trump, was not under FBI investigation. And CNN said, you can see it right there on the screen. It says, sources tell CNN Comey to testify he never told Trump he was not under FBI investigation. But then it came out that Comey said he did tell Trump this. Look. See? So the next day, I think, well, was it the day before the testimony? I think it might have been the night before Comey's testimony, where CNN ran with that story, and they said in his testimony tomorrow, he's gonna testify that he never told President Trump he wasn't under that he was not under investigation. But then the next day he testified, and he did say, yeah, I told President Trump. Actually, I remember when Comey testified in Congress, he sent out, there was a document of his actual, there was a lot, he didn't read his whole document, but he had answered a bunch of questions from Congress, and they published that document. I think he released that document, or somebody released that document, but it showed all of his testimony. It wasn't just a spoken testimony. He gave he answered questions from them, and there were written up answers. And if I remember right, in the written up answers, it basically corroborated President Trump's account, because there were several different times when James Comey said to President Trump, "No, you are not personally under investigation." But the night before, as you can see there, the screenshot, Anderson Cooper, sources tell CNN Comey to testify he never told Trump he was not under investigation. When, in fact, in his testimony, you can see Comey said he told Trump he was not under investigation. There you go. So CNN, that is why CNN has just won. I am not making this up. They're fourth. They're fourth. No one else even has more than one. CNN has 4 fake news awards tonight. Amazing. Just amazing. There's your headline. All right, there's still a couple more fake news awards. We're going to get to them in a moment. But if you have any thoughts on who should win those remaining fake news awards, give me a shout on Twitter. I am at @Lookner, at Lookner. I want to hear from you. Ophelia says, Steve, love your wit, satire, and concise reporting, RSBN. Thank you, Ophelia. Very nice of you to say. Zenith says, yes, that's what I was getting at with the handshake thing. The expectation was for the men to shake each other's hands first and then the ladies' hands. Trump was just accustomed to the Polish matching of equal rank where Americans just go down the line. That's from Zenith. Rocky Sanchez writes in, thank you, Steve, for covering the fake news awards. President Trump should also create a list of real news awards and have RSBN win first place for truth-telling when presenting the news. That would be lovely. We'd accept a real news award. Chris Douglas says, do you think CNN will be covering this? Probably not. No. They should celebrate on CNN that they've won 4. They have won 4 of these awards so far. Amazing. If you want to know when we're coming on the air with videos like this, normally we're covering news, doing news coverage. I guess this is kind of news coverage. Subscribe to us on YouTube and click the notifications bell so you get notified when we're coming on the air. Also, you can follow us on Facebook. Hello to everybody watching on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook, Right Side Broadcasting. On Twitter, we are at RSB Network, at RSB Network. I am on Twitter at @Lookner. I post about breaking news all the time, all my waking hours. So if you like breaking news, follow me on Twitter at @Lookner. And shout out again to all of our moderators who've been working hard tonight in our chat room, our YouTube chat room and our website chat room. Thank you, moderators. All right, guys. 9 fake news awards have been given out. We got a couple more to be given out. I can see how long the article is, so not many more. So, who's going to win the next one? Are you ready for number 10? Who's it going to be? I honestly don't know. I haven't read down this far. I don't know who's going to win. Are you ready for number 10, Fake News Award? The winner of Fake News Award number 10 is... I'm going to go very slowly here for the big reveal. Hold on. The New York Times! Woo! The New York Times won. Wait, is this their second one? Is this their second one or their first? Hold on. Paul Krugman won, but not the New York Times. That was the first one. This might be the first win for the New York Times by itself. Yeah, that was Paul Krugman. ABC, CNN, Time Magazine, Washington Post, CNN number 2, CNN number 3, Newsweek, CNN number 4, and this one. Hang on, coming up. I'm not going to scroll down too far because I want to keep the next one a secret. Let me get it on the screen. Did I do it? There it is. The New York Times falsely claimed on the front page that the Trump administration had hidden a climate report. New York Times guilty of large group on climate change story. I gotta find you that one. I got to find some more information about that. I don't even remember that one. New York Times climate change fake news. No, I want to New York Times climate change false story. Hang on, I'm having a bit of an issue finding this story. Here it is. I got it. There it is. This is what this fake news war was about. New York Times guilty of large screw-up on climate change story. This was written by the Washington Post. And it says, are you ready? The New York Times on Wednesday appended a correction to a story about a climate change study. Correction, August 9th, 2017. An article on Tuesday about a sweeping federal climate change report referred incorrectly to the availability of the report. While it was not widely publicized, the report was uploaded by the nonprofit Internet Archive in January. It was not made first public by the New York Times. That correction, which sits at the foot of the story, dutifully straightens out the record. Wait, so what was the original story? Let's see. I see. It says, as it detailed the conclusions of the draft report, the New York Times highlighted an equally scary prospect that without the intervention of the New York Times, it might have not seen the light of day. They said, in the story, they said a copy of it was obtained by the New York Times. They said one government scientist who worked on the report and who spoke to the Times on condition of anonymity said he and others are concerned it will be suppressed. The draft report by scientists from 13 federal agencies, which has not been made public, concludes that Americans are feeling the effects of climate change right now. But you can see that the New York Times ended up pulling their language, saying that said a copy of it was obtained by the New York Times and that it has not yet been made public, because it had been made public. As you can see, somebody named Bob Kopp said, the Times leaked draft has been on the Internet Archive since January. So basically what happened is the Times posted a copy of this climate change report, claiming that people were feeling the effects of climate change already. The report had dire warnings about climate change in it. And the New York Times original article suggested that this had not been made public and and expressed worries that the Trump administration might keep it from being made public, when in fact it had been up on the internet, publicly available 7 months before that. So this story right here, New York Times guilty of large screw up. Oops, here we go. We're not going. New York Times guilty of large screw up on climate change story. That is why the New York Times has won. Number 10. You can see it right here. Number 10. The New York Times falsely claimed on the front page that the Trump administration had hidden a climate report. That's why they won Fake News Award number 10. Okay, so we have now seen 10 fake news awards. 10. I think there are only maybe 1 or 2 left. I'm pretty surprised. Look, at this point, Jim Acosta has not won one, and MSNBC and NBC have not won one. If either Jim Acosta doesn't get one, or MSNBC/NBC doesn't get one, or both, I'll be pretty surprised. But we'll have to see what happens. I don't know who's going to win the last couple ones. Hey, Sterling Archer made a donation. Thank you, Sterling Archer, and writes, your message here. Thank you, Sterling Archer. And Christy Jacoby made a donation and said Don Lemon should also get an award for his best use of the indirect accusation, like when he says, Trump said this. Does that make him racist? So he can later say, I didn't say he's racist. Thank you, Christy, for the donation. All right. So I want to just catch up on some of your messages. Guys, we only have maybe 1 or 2 more of these awards left that we haven't talked about that are on the list. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think about the award so far? Give me a shout on Twitter. I'm at @Lookner, @LOOKNER. David Raygor says RSBN and Texas News Studio, I'm not familiar with them, but thank you for mentioning RSBN, should get an award for being truthful and not made up news. Thank you both. Thank you, David. Richard P. nominated me, said I nominate Steve for hardest working news person of the year. Thank you, Richard. Linda Belk says, I think the last fake news award should go to all the networks who insisted Hillary was winning the presidency in a landslide until she didn't. We'll see who wins it. Who's going to win? All right, guys. We are getting close to the last award or awards. Who's going to win the next one? Are you ready out there? Are you ready for Fake News Award number 11? CNN has 4 so far. CNN has 4. No one else has more than 1. CNN has 4. The next Fake News Award, number 11, goes to, are you ready? And last but not least, this is the last one. It goes to Russia collusion. It says Russian collusion is perhaps the greatest. Hold on, let me pull this up here. The last award goes to Russia collusion. It says, and last but not least, Russia collusion. Russian collusion is perhaps the greatest hoax perpetrated on the American people. There is no collusion. And there's a post by President Trump from January 5th that says, well, now that collusion with Russia is proving to be a total hoax, and the only collusion is with Hillary Clinton and the FBI, Russia, the fake news media, mainstream, and this phony new book are hitting out at every new front imaginable. They should try winning an election. Sad. So President Trump, it looks like he gave the last one to the media in general who's talked about the Russia collusion. So CNN finishes with 4 fake news awards, and 1 each for the New York Times, Paul Krugman, Brian Ross, ABC, Time Magazine, Washington Post, they won 1. You can see there's more CNN ones. Newsweek won 1. The New York Times won 1. And the media in general won 1 for the Russia collusion. I'm a bit surprised, and Jim Acosta didn't win 1. Maybe Jim Acosta is disappointed. Maybe MSNBC and NBC are disappointed that they didn't win 1. But hey, everybody can't win. We'll read the last part of this right now. Sterling Archer made a donation and said, Clinton News Network, CNN, 2018, number 1 in fake news. Thank you, Sterling, for the donation. All right, so let's read the end here. This is the last part of the Fake News Awards document. It says, while the media has spent 90% of the time focused on negative coverage or fake news, the president has been getting results. 1, the economy has created nearly 2 million jobs and gained over $8 trillion in wealth since the president's inauguration. 2, African Americans and Hispanics are enjoying the lowest unemployment rate in recorded history. 3, the president signed historic tax cuts and relief for hardworking Americans not seen since President Reagan. 4, President Trump's plan to cut regulations has exceeded 2 out for every 1 in mandate, issuing 22 deregulatory actions for every 1 new regulatory action. 5, the president has unleashed an American energy boom by ending Obama-era regulations, approving the Keystone Pipeline, auctioning off millions of new acres for energy exploration, and opening up Anwar. 6, ISIS is in retreat, having been crushed in Iraq and Syria. 7, President Trump followed through on his promise to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of the State of Israel and instructed the State Department to begin to relocate the embassy. 8, with President Trump's encouragement, more member nations are paying for their share for the common defense in the NATO alliance. 9, signed the Veterans Accountability and Whistleblower Protection Act to allow senior officials in the VA to fire failing employees and establishes safeguards to protect whistleblowers. And 10, President Trump kept his promise and appointed Associate Justice Neil Gorsuch to the U.S. Supreme Court. So that, my friends, is the 2017 Fake News Awards. CNN, clearly the big winner. Let's have a round of applause for all the winners tonight. You're all winners, but especially CNN. So great job, CNN, on your 4 Fake News Awards tonight. Amazing. Amazing job by CNN. If you have any comments, what do you think? We're going to take your comments right now. Stay on for a few more minutes. Hear from you. Who do you think? What do you think about the fake news awards? Do you have any thoughts on somebody who didn't win, who you thought should have won? Give me a shout on Twitter, at Lookner, at Lookner. Sorry, at Lookner. Irma Arts writes in, busy all day, so happy Rabbit made an actual event for us. Thanks, RSB Network. Jeremy Miller says, I had a feeling MSNBC wouldn't win an award because they're not even actually news. Sammy writes, thank you for doing this. I giggled a lot, better than the Golden Globes or the Oscars. Thank you, guys. And remember, if you want to see more of our broadcasts, subscribe to us on YouTube. Click the notifications bell so you get notified. And a quick reminder, we are viewer supported. We can only stay on the air because you guys donate. That's how we stay on the air. That's how we pay our bills. So if you like our broadcast, if you like the broadcast tonight, and you want to support Right Side, even small donations are welcome because we want to keep being on the air and bringing you news. You can go to the bottom of the YouTube chat, click on the dollar sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat, that little gray dollar symbol there. You can donate that way, or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. P-Cell says, great job, Steve. You did this all on the fly without any help from a large crew. Thank you, P-Cell. But I didn't make up the awards. The awards were already there. So I just shared the awards with you. But thank you, P-Cell. Chris Douglas said, Steve Lookner should host the Fakies. You'll be the Billy Crystal of the Fakies. If it's an actual real show, you're saying. Let's see. Donna Maria writes in, there was news that the mainstream media was going to say that this was unethical for Trump to do. So the awards were only given to those that were proven wrong, an apology given. So it can't be said that Trump was unethical in any way, in my opinion. That's why none for Acosta. So what you're saying is the reason why Acosta might not have gotten one is that there was not a case where he reported a story, he ended up correcting later. And you're saying that if all the stories here were ones where they offered a correction, the story was clearly false. So President Trump was careful, you're saying, to not give a fake news award to anything that wasn't clearly fake news. And you're saying maybe that's why Jim Acosta and maybe MSNBC didn't win one. Interesting theory. Interesting theory, Donna Maria. Real quick, I want to say thank you to Mary Lou Sampson from Australia. She says, I have $58 a week to feed myself. Happy to donate $8 to you guys. Greetings from Australia. Well, first of all, that's really kind of you to make a donation. But second of all, now I'm sure you can, I obviously you know how to handle your money. But in general, folks, we love donations because they keep us on the air. But we only want you to donate what you can afford to donate. So if you don't have enough money to donate, that's all right. We get it. So let that be said. But that's really kind of you, Mary Lou, and we really appreciate that. Sterling Archer made another donation. Thank you, Sterling, and said, I like your broadcast. That's very nice of you as well. Thanks. Irma Arts says, you meant RSBN instead of rabbit. Yeah, I was wondering, Irma Arts, why were you saying rabbit? Maybe you were making some wordplay joke or something. Makes sense now. I got what you were trying to say, Irma Arts. Thank you. David Warwick writes in, they can tell so many outright lies. It's outrageous. ABC equals always broadcasting crap. CBS equals crap broadcasting station. CNN equals corrupt news network. NBC equals news bullcrap. Washington Post equals Washington Compost. New York Times equals New York Times. That is from our viewer, David Warwick. Another shout out. I got to give one more shout out to the moderators. Guinevere, JC, Barbara Braley, who else? Real Frank, Common Sense and Gleno on the website. They've been there all night moderating. So thank you for moderating. All right. Last call for comments here on the Fake News Awards broadcast. I forgot Lynn Jean. Thank you, Lynn Jean, for being there too. Last call for comments. If you have comments, send them in now. At Lookner on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter too. I post about the news all the time. Post a lot of breaking news. Follow me on Twitter, at Lookner. And subscribe to Right Side on YouTube. Click the notifications bell. Follow us on Facebook, Right Side Broadcasting. Follow us on Twitter, at RSB Network. All right. Well, at this point, I think we've gotten through all the awards. We've gotten through all the comments. I'm about to wrap up the stream. I want to thank everybody for choosing Right Side Broadcasting for your fake news awards coverage. If they do it again next year, we'll cover it again next year. Thank you to everybody in the chat room. Thank you to everybody who sent me comments. Thank you to everybody in the chat room who's saying thanks right now. People like Kathy Dillon and KK Bronson. Frank Gardner made a donation, said, "Looking good, Lookner." Thank you, Frank. Very much appreciated. Awesome. That helps us stay on the air, Frank. Thanks. Tom O'Neill made a donation. Thank you, Tom. Tom said, "I nominate Right Side Broadcasting Network for the Pretzel Award in exposing the very fake news. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Mods, War Eagle, RSB, and Rocks." Thank you, Tom. Other people saying thanks. Thank you, Candy Smith, for saying thanks. Thank you, Whiskey Bay, thank you. Juniper Lee is in Los Angeles. I used to live in Los Angeles. I think Juniper Lee is saying she's in Los Angeles. Alex Collett, thank you. Thank you, Michael Rockridge. Thank you, DM. Thank you, Nancy Glandon. Thank you, Cammy Bear. Thank you, Light Switch. Thank you, Anon Person. Little Boy for Trump wants to shout out for Trump for being a great president. Thanks, Craig Gordon. Jason Thornton. Roberto Sanchez, thank you. Yankee Watchdog says, "Dang, I missed it." The thing is, Yankee Watchdog, you can just go watch it again. It's on YouTube. Preston Vanderven, thank you. Oh, somebody said, "Can you post a link to this article?" If you go to my Twitter, it's President Trump posted a link. I also posted it on my Twitter on my Twitter I said President Trump posted a link. So you can find President Trump's post on my Twitter, or just go to @RealDonaldTrump and you can see he posted the link. Timberlab, thank you. Ridge Runner, thank you. Case Critters, thank you. Hillsoft VA, thank you. N2 Peace, thank you. Zippy Chicky, thanks. Alan, thanks. Ascension. Little Boy for Trump. Whiskey Bay. Scott J. Douglas. So many thank yous tonight. Jeffrey Kane. Fast Pony. All right. I think we are going to wrap up this stream right now. So that's been the awards. It's been a pleasure bringing you guys the awards and sharing the fake news awards for you, and with you, I mean. So that's it for now. We're going to have news coverage later this week. The government shuts down at 12:01 a.m. Saturday unless there's a deal reached, so we'll be covering that for you. We'll cover the press briefings. Actually, what day is it right now? Isn't it Wednesday right now? Isn't it Wednesday night? Yeah, so only a couple days for them to make a deal to keep the government from shutting down. So we will be on top of that, covering that for you. Ket King 7777 says, "I knew CNN would win hands down." Old Guy 1947 says, "Sanders should have had the award unveiling today at the press conference and pass out little trophies." Oh, P-Cell liked how we went on the internet and showed you the different stories that the fake news awards were about. Glad you liked that, P-Cell. The only one we didn't do that was for the first one. But the first one was kind of obvious because the first one was just was the Paul Krugman headline one. Paul Krugman claimed on the day of President Trump's historic landslide victory that the economy would never recover. All you need to see is the headline for that one. So I think we did extra research on the other ones. Maybe a little number 2. I could have done a little more research on number 2. Anyways, but it's over now. For next year, we'll remember for next year. All right, we're wrapping this broadcast up. Thanks, Dan the Man. Thanks, everybody else. Thanks, Patrick. Thank you, Fast Pony. Thanks, everybody else there in the chat room, 9 Fathoms, and all you guys. Thank you for joining us. It's been our privilege and pleasure to bring you the 2017 Fake News Awards. And we hope you subscribe to Right Side Broadcasting. Click the notifications bell. Follow us on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter @Lookner. And hope we see you later this week when we're doing breaking news coverage. Who knows, if there's breaking news tonight, we might even do another live stream tonight. So subscribe to us so you know, and click the notifications bell so you know when we're coming on the air. But for now, I am Steve Lookner. This has been the Fake News Awards. From all of us here at Right Side Broadcasting, have a wonderful evening, and we will see you soon here at Right Side Broadcasting. And a special congratulations to CNN. You did it, CNN. Amazing. One more round of applause for CNN for winning 4 Fake News Awards. And a truly amazing accomplishment that may never, ever be matched. Okay, on that note, have a great night, everybody. We will see you soon here at Right Side Broadcasting.